4 in a row.
First leg, it's Cristo to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's Spain versus Austria for the right to face either a Dutchman or a Swede on the British soil of Gibraltar. Really European flavour to this Euro Tour encounter.
96.
Certainly is, but Cristo Reyes has got a tough task in front of him, especially if Mensur Suljovic finds the kind of form that he did yesterday, because he was the top performer in the Saturday sessions. 103.94 average Mensur Suljovic posted.
Yeah, very impressive from the gentle. I mean, it was very impressive from Alan Tabben, his opponent. The best I've seen the Saint from St. Helens play in a long while, but still not enough to overcome the top man from Austria, man who's ranked inside the world's top 10.
60.
Yeah, and Rob Cross just denied the prospect of an Alan Tabben trophy matchup in the quarterfinals, didn't he, between Smith and Chisnell?
Yeah, just the one St. Helens thrower left. He started the day with 3. Cristo Reyes ranked 30th in the world, but I have to say, I expect him to move up. I think he's playing well enough to. It's just, unfortunately for Cristo, keeps running into Peter Wright and Michael van Gerwen early on in the tournament. He's often losing to the person who goes on and wins the tournament, but he's losing to them, not in the semi-finals or the final or the quarter-final. He's losing to them in the last 16 or the last 32. And that means that he's not picking up that ranking money that would move him more quickly up the rankings.
Yeah, often losing out to the top boys. Cristo Reyes, no better case in point than the World Championship defeat to Michael van Gerwen, where he averaged what was then the highest losing average in a World Championship match. Double top for a top start for the Tenerife man.
54. Messi require 103.
A chance for Mensur. 83 remain. Treble 17 for double 16. Not going to go. So Cristo Reyes returns to get the first leg on the board. Double 10 he wants. Double 5. Still double 5.
10 scored.
And more darts missed by Cristo Reyes. His finishing against James Richardson left a lot to be desired, only hitting about 1 in 4 darts at double. And if he does that against Mensur Suljovic, I don't think he's going to win. Because Mensur doesn't miss many at doubles. He certainly doesn't miss many at double 14. 1-0 to the gentle and a break of throw.
Yeah, well, it started like this for Cristo, didn't it? Against James Richardson. Handed his opponent a 4-leg head start. Not the best tactic. I'm not sure it's a good tactic, not one that many players will opt to employ.
No. Stubbornly refusing to switch down the board, staying on the treble 20 Cristo and paying the price for it ultimately. Only coming away with 60 points.
And as RMC Jack Newlart said before, in introducing Mensur Suljovic, he always does seem to play very good darts on the European tour. Of course, won his maiden title last year, went on to reach the final in the very next tournament and came very close again. And all the way to the final of the European Championship itself as well.
Well, the way that Cristo keeps butting up against this barrier in the last 16 as Mensur
140.
He wants to look at Mensur and just see that perseverance can pay off. Because Mensur had never made PDC final before he went and won that European Tour event last year. But he'd made 11 semi-finals. 11, including 2 major ones, before he managed to get through to a final. And then when he did, he won it. And he went on to make 2 more finals in the next 3 events, then followed it with his first major final at the European Championship. It just seemed that once he'd cleared that hurdle, it became easier for him.
Yeah, and he's a man
135.
in a similar, everything's similar, isn't it, to him and Cristo Reyes? He's a man that's kind of carrying the hopes of a nation alone, although there are a few young Austrians, all from the same family really, starting to make the mark in the game. But he's certainly been the shining light of Austrian darts. for a number of years, and Reyes has got that mantle for Spain as well.
2-0, double top.
Game shot.
And there it is. It's another clean kill from Mensur Suljovic, taking out the double first dart.
$140.
He stayed there. It looks impossible to plonk a third dart in the treble, but he is one of those players who does like to stay there. He's shown it a couple of times in this match. Uses more bulbous darts than a perhaps
100.
Conventional these days. A lot of players use the more straight barrels. He certainly finds room for them.
140. $55.
It's a very thin, straight barrel that Mensur employs, like a bookie's pen.
Well, he's
40.
used them to grab a few winners, hasn't he, Mensur Suljovic?
Certainly has. Just to underline that European Championship, where he made the final, the top 2 seeds made the final. Michael van Gerwen versus Mensur Suljovic. And all right, Michael van Gerwen was a convincing winner in that final, although you wouldn't know the way that Mensur reacted. He was absolutely delighted to have reached that stage. But he was seeded number 2 by virtue of the fact he was the second best player on the European Tour over the whole course of the year. He just kept on making semi-finals. 1-1, and was constantly winning 2 or 3 games per tournament.
140.
Even Peter Wright or Kim Huybrechts were able to do that.
Looking at 81 then. Avoids the ball.
72. You require
But the dart avoids double 9 as well, so Suljovic has another chance. And now for a double break and a 3-leg lead.
Treble 18. Oh, well, he stayed there. Must have liked the lie in the end.
60.
That would have left him the double 13, the mirror image of his favourite double. But double 4 for Cristo Reyes to get a first leg on the board. There it is. And, well, he's managed to get a leg on the board more quickly than he did against James Richardson, but I think he probably needed to against Mensur Suljovic.
On Kerr. And Suljovic was knocked out at this stage last weekend against Joe Cullen in a match that went all 11 legs. Reyes didn't even give himself a chance to take on top seed at this stage, did he, when he lost out to Ulf Seder?
140.
Yeah, that was the first time this year that he's failed to make the last 16. So, and this is the thing, 7 times now he has made the last 16, Cristo Reyes. And he is a seeded player, and you know, part of the problem has been that he's been seeded 15 and 16, keeps meeting Michael van Gerwen and Peter Wright, who turn up to the vast majority. Peter Wright turns up to every Euro Tour. Michael van Gerwen turns up to the vast majority of them. You seeded 15, 16. You're due to meet one of those 2
140
at this stage, and he's never beaten Peter Wright. He's rarely beaten Michael van Gerwen. He's pushed them both close, but they're bogey men for him. But even before that, before he was a seed, he was qualifying regularly for these tournaments. Mensur
145
tries to take out the 170, but the 25 gets him down to a Shanghai finish. The thing is, he was still qualifying for these and going through the European qualifiers with all the Dutch guys, all the Belgian guys. They are tough, those European qualifiers. He has had to really earn his place on the European Tour, and he's done it time and time again.
Suljovic now looking at Shanghai. We'll come back to that point on the rankings in a minute. He's not going to take it out. Yeah, Reyes, there is ways to change that, isn't there? One is to not get many results and slip back down and end up playing in the qualifiers again. The other is to have a serious run and get yourself up towards the top 10 seeds and start avoiding those players until perhaps the quarterfinals.
80. So you require 160.
Now, huge opportunity to break the throw. You don't get many against Mensur Suljovic, typically. Cristo Reyes just having a look. Is he just double-checking the right score?
Might just be psyching himself up, the Spaniard.
able. You can see how frustrating that is. He's literally hopping with frustration, Cristo Reyes.
It's hard to get a read on Reyes, what he was doing there. It could be that he was thinking, was that correct? It could be that he was playing Suljovic at his own game. I'd like to think it is.
Well, it'd be a novel approach, trying to slow Mensur down.
Game shot on the fourth leg, Mensur Suljovic.
But we do have a little gap.
Cristo to throw first, game on.
Reopened up by Mensur Suljovic, a two-leg lead re-established. And in a weekend which has seen
84.
double after double after double missed by pretty much the whole field, Mensur Suljovic is looking pretty deadly on the doubles.
There's missed just one. Dart at double. There's
140.
Misfiring on 5 occasions on the outer ring in this match. Looking pretty dead on the trebles as well, to be totally honest.
99.
Finds one there, but Reyes still has a handsome advantage in this leg.
Winner of this one faces either Benito van der Pas,
140.
finalist in Saarbrücken, and desperately unlucky not to claim his first European Tour title. Missed dart or two for it against Peter Wright in the final, averaged 110 and was still beaten. Or Magnus Carris, surprise package, playing in the final day of a Euro Tour for the very first time in his career. 137 needed for Cristo Reyes, but he knows. Okay, well, he looked at the 17s there.
57.
He knows he's going to come back, and in this case, he'll have a look at 80. Mensur Suljovic needs at least one treble to get to a finish, 2 to really put any pressure on. And treble 5 is not one of the ones.
95. Cristo, you require 80.
Well, he's going to get 2 darts.
Game shot
Only needs one in the end and just claws it back to just a single leg.
First. Game on.
Yeah, looking at the bottom half of the draw, it's a massive chance, isn't it, for someone to go on and reach a final? Only Van der Pas in that half has reached a final this year on the European Tour. Having said that, only Peter Wright has in the top half.
100.
Top dart from Mensur Suljovic, kicking off with a max.
Yeah, well, we said at the start of the day that there's only
85.
a select number of players who've won one of these Euro Tour events still in the field. Mensur Suljovic is one of them. Simon Whitlock is one of them. They're the only 2 in this bottom half of the draw who have. Peter Wright obviously
100.
has. Alan Norris had, but he's been knocked out. Dave Chisnell has, but he's been knocked out. Michael Smith has won 3 of them, but, well, he had a real battle, and he'll need to up his game if he's going to make 100. It a 4th one this evening, you feel.
Yeah, against a man who's seen him off already this year. Rob Cross.
It's a fascinating evening session that we're setting up. We've only set up half of it. This game and 3 more to come this afternoon to establish the last 8 lineup. Can Cristo Reyes be in it for the very first time in his career? Because he has a lot of work to do.
I just feel that Suljovic has got the air of a man that's in control in this contest as well.
161.
Reyes lost control of a couple of darts there.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Mensur Suljovic has not played as well as he did for the majority of last year since he won the European Championship. It was almost like Mensur was building up and up and up over the course of a good couple of years of getting better and better and better and constantly knocking on the door. 83. He won his first title, then he went absolutely bonkers, kept making finals, made his first major final. But then it just seemed to be, it's almost as if he said, well, I've got nothing more to prove now. I'm a top player. And he's not managed to go on and make a final since then.
Yeah, just one semi-final, isn't it, in 2017?
Shot on the 6th leg.
But there've just been little suggestions of late that he could change that around. The thing is with Mensur, he was at a disadvantage at the start of the year
96.
because he missed all the UK Open qualifiers because his wife was ill while pregnant with another child. and so he didn't feature in any of those. That's 6 tournaments, and it meant he didn't play at the UK Open either. So he's not been playing as much competitive darts as his rivals at the start of the year, and maybe there was just a bit of a hangover from that.
Well, he certainly hasn't lost it, has he? We saw that from his performance yesterday, and a decent
84
showing today so far. By the way, for those that are interested, the Challenge Tour semi-finals today are set up. James Hubbard, former World Youth Champion, against Peter Jakes in one of them, and the other one is Ian Jones against Wayne Jones.
My money's on Jones to make the final.
I could bet on that and still lose.
Rapidly turning in to a potentially pivotal leg, this.
100.
Because just a ton for Cristo means that Mensur Suljovic has effectively stolen the darts. And if he's to break here and go 5-2 up, I'm not sure there's a way back for Cristo Reyes. Because Mensur is averaging 98 and a bit.
100.
He's down to a finish first. Cristo, this has to be a ton 40, I think. Well, maybe even a ton. He could take out 121, but it's not an easy shot. And he certainly 161 is too big a target to lead. 121 it is.
And so you require 131.
131, be 121. And even if Suljovic tees this up, which is all he can do now, is huge pressure on Cristo Reyes to take this out.
91.
Well, it is set up to perfection from the gentle. Good dart. 11s now. Bullseye.
96.
And he misses, and I wonder
So you require 40.
if that might prove to be one of the most important moments in this game. Could have been 4-3. And it still might.
So you require 25.
Well, tidy up time. Cristo Reyes, double 8 the target. To clean up 25. Apologetic raise of the arm, but no need, Cristo. Your chance came and you took it. Suljovic still that break ahead.
But that is a huge swing. It should have been 5-2.
60.
In the end, just 4-3, and Cristo Reyes quite capable of firing in a couple of 12-dart legs back-to-back that could turn the game in his favour.
135.
Well, that proved his capabilities. A couple of darts in the big treble, and we saw his throwing style looked so effortless there from the side-on views. We see Suljovic kick out like a mule.
55.
Not much in the averages, as you see. But it's the... Well, it was the finishing stats.
59.
Prior to that last leg where Mensur Suljovic missed 3 darts. There you see. 4 out of 9 plays 3 out of 9. Mensur's still looking better on the finishing, but if you'd taken that before those missed 3 darts in the last leg, Mensur 4 out of 6.
100.
And looking as deadly as ever. Reyes, an opportunity, you can sense it. Again, he's gone into the treble 5. And again, he adjusts well. Very well indeed. The Spartan.
The crowd captivated by this one as well. There is a few in this afternoon, but staying silent during this match.
100.
Really get a sense of how important the next few moments could be.
100.
Would have loved to see another one land in the treble 20 there. Would have given him 3 darts at double 16. As it is, he may only get 1 dart to break, and he may well have to take it out.
55.
Well, he has been handed a chance to break in 15 darts. He may do it in 14. Double 3. Huge shots.
69.
But he's ended up leaving himself 3. And
131.
this is a huge checkout. which isn't going to go, and now Cristo Reyes has to gather himself here.
45.
This is not easy. I don't care who you are in the world. I know this is a shot that everybody in the pub has left themselves on numerous occasions, but doing this with such a prize on the line
No score.
is not easy, and Cristo has just demonstrated he has missed 3 darts for the break of throw that he needed.
Well, it's a shot where there is simply no margin for error. This shot does afford that because, well, he doesn't make a mistake, so he gets 2 darts at double. Could have been the ball, ends up being double 16. Suljovic apologises as well.
Throw first. Game on.
I don't think he meant it.
Well, Cristo has pushed the likes of Michael van Gerwen and Peter Wright very, very close already this year at this stage of various European Tour events. And it has been moments like that that have been his undoing. And he finally gets a last 16 clash where he's not playing either the world number 1 or the world number 3. Admitted he's playing the second seed, Mensur Suljovic, but he's a man he's beaten the last 3 times they've played. The last time Mensur beat Cristo Reyes was 59. In 2015. It's a good couple of years. He's had the opportunity there to make it 4 apiece.
100.
And he'd have the throw in 2 of the remaining 3 legs. He had the game. If you'd offered that to Cristo at the start of the match, he'd have probably bitten your hand off. Just hold your throw twice and you're in the quarterfinals of Euro Tour for the very first time in your career. He'd have taken that. But I'm afraid Cristo has fluffed his lines a little bit. It is not over yet.
139.
He does have the throw in 2 of the 3 remaining legs.
It demonstrates the small margins, though, as Reyes looks to keep himself firmly in contention, because the 3 darts at double 6, 3 and 1 were not far away. So although he did fluff his lines, look, 3 darts at double, you'd expect one of the top dart players in the world to hit, but it wasn't like he completely bottled it, was it?
No. And look, I mean, we've seen this weekend pretty much everybody has been missing doubles. The only person I can think of who's got great finishing stats is Jelle Claesson. He managed to win 3 legs without missing a double, and he went out the very first opportunity because he was beaten 6-3. But pretty much everybody else in the tournament has missed loads of darts at double. I don't know what is wrong with the Gibraltar air, but it's led for some fascinating encounters.
Well, Reyes may well have to hit with the only dart that he may get in this combination, and he doesn't even get that. Suljovic poised to take victory. 64 left for him. Is this the last dart that Reyes chucks? And once again falls at the last 16 hurdle in a European Tour event.
7 times he's made this stage of a European Tour event, Cristo Reyes. 6 times he has been unsuccessful in making it to the quarterfinals. Let's make that 7, because you can't give Mensur Suljovic even 1 match start at double 14. A 6-3 win for Mensur, his first victory over Cristo Reyes for a couple of years, and once again Euro Tour disappointment for the Spartan. Suljovic, you will see him play in the quarterfinals tonight. It is going to be against either Benito van der Pas, a finalist not long ago in Saarbrücken on the Euro Tour.